Hey, my name is Fianshu Sharma. I am from India. Recently I got married and it gives me immense happiness to share this with you that I got married with someone that I was in love since I was 17 years old. Yes, 17. It's been 9 years, a 4 years old long distance relationship where my partner was in Canada, I was in India. Yes, the struggle was real, but it was all worth it. But it has been often sometimes that people come and ask me that what is the secret behind your successful relationship? People ask me how tough is a long distance relationship. In this talk, I'm going to share my recipe of having an everlasting relationship. The first ingredient I believe is intentions. Here I'm not just talking about the basic intention you need to have to be in a relationship with somebody, but I'm talking about the intentions to maintain that relationship when you're going through a bad phase. So whenever Kirat and I used to have a fight, one thing was very sure, we are not going to move on from each other, we are going to move on from the argument that we are having. So the thing that I've seen in couples, that whenever I'm having so many fights with the same person, I need to have an exit strategy or a plan in their mind that how can I get or move on from this entire relationship. Basically, you need to move on from the argument but not from the person you are having the relationship with. So that's the first ingredient that I believe you should have. The second ingredient I want to talk about is space, freedom. I believe space and freedom are very essential for anybody's life. We often forget that the person we are in a relationship is a partner but is also a human being. They have their own dreams, they have their own ambitions and values. The year was 2014 when Kirat was applying for Canadian universities and she wanted to go for higher education to Canada. So when Kirat gave me a call because she was admitted in a university in Canada, she asked me that whether she should go to Canada or not, whether she should leave India. How is this relationship going to work? How are we going to survive this? And the one thing that came in my mind is that no matter what happens, I cannot stop her. When she gave me an option that you can decide whether should I go or not, the first thing that came in my mind was I can't stop her. And the reason was that I could never stop her from dreaming and achieving her own dreams. The second part is I never wanted her to regret her decision. You know what generally happens? When people romantically and emotionally take decisions in their lives, that decision is taken in a fraction of a second and you have to live with your decision for the entire life. So I never wanted Kirat to regret the moment we'll have a fight. The first thing that will come in her mind was, why did I not go? Why did I not pursue my dreams? Why did I stay here just for one person? And I jeopardized my entire career for that. So I never wanted her to realize that. And that is why I believe when we gave the freedom and the space to the other person, it is a success. It was not just that I am the only person who gives the freedom and the space in the relationship. It's a two-way road. So when Kirat got her permanent residentship in Canada, she never told me that you are going to shift here after we get married. She again gave me my freedom whether I want to shift to Canada or not. So the moment she had her PR, she told me that do you want to come here or should I come back to India? And that is why I believe it's a two-way road. The third ingredient here is investment, emotional investment. Let me explain you this in a very simple manner possible. I believe that most of you have been to a bank where you have deposited your money and you have also made withdrawals from it. I believe emotional investment account is also like a bank account. You can only make the withdrawals that you have deposited once. Often I see people when they're trying to ask for sacrifices in a relationship, they're asking for withdrawals, but they haven't even deposited the kind of investment that was required in a relationship. So you can only make a withdrawal once you have made that much of investment in a person. You can only ask for sacrifices from your partner once you have made enough sacrifices. The next ingredient I want to talk about is illogical demands. Yes, this is kind of my favorite and most complicated ingredient here. So I'll talk about a pre-wedding shoot that we did, which was loved by people we know, people we do not even know. We were getting random messages from people about the pre-wedding shoot and it got viral over internet. We got around 3 lakhs plus likes on the pictures. And even after 10 months of our marriage, people still send me messages that you are still at our explore feed on Instagram and you are still there. And people are still loving it and appreciating the pictures that we had. Right now, I want you to come with me behind the camera. Honestly speaking, I never wanted to get a pre-wedding shoot done. I honestly hate the entire concept. I'm someone who will go to a place and get 2 pictures clicked of himself, and if those pictures aren't even fine, I'll still be happy. But Kirat wanted a fancy pre-wedding shoot, and that was absolutely illogical to me. And we had so many fights about the same thing, that she wanted a pre-wedding shoot, I didn't. I thought that spending around ₹1,00,000 or hiring a team of photographers and going to a place which was 16 hours away from my hometown, that was absolutely illogical just for having pictures clicked. Honestly. But eventually, I understood one thing, that the promises I made to Kirat was that I will always keep her happy. So after a point of time in a relationship, to keep your logic aside, because it is about happiness, not about the logic. It gives me happiness when I see Kirat happy. Then I understand that happiness is bigger than the logic part. So sometimes your partner will expect and ask for some illogical demands, and you need to understand that how can you fulfill those demands of your partner so that your partner is happy, and ultimately you will be happy if you're truly in love with that person. So in our case, it has always worked. To all the people who are like me, I would request you not to always think what is rational. In love, it is allowed to be irrational also. So that is there. The next ingredient I want to talk about is stop taking advices from people. I have seen a lot of times when people will come up to me and ask me that I am having these problems in my relationship. What should I do? Should I break up or should I continue? The moment you are coming to a random stranger and you are asking for advices like this, that should you continue your relationship or not, you're almost halfway there of breaking it. So I'll honestly tell you that Kirat and I have had n number of fights. Honestly, I've lost count. And secondly, if I'll tell you the count right now, she is going to kill me later. So we have had our n number of fights where I've never gone to anyone and asked, "Yaar, what kind of advice you would like to give it to me? How should I handle Kirat about this? Or how should I handle the entire situation?" Honestly, I feel when everything was happy, I never asked for advices for anybody else. When we were having our intimate moments, I never asked for somebody else that how should I do this, what should I do that. Then the same thing I believe is that when the chips are down, why do we need to take advices from random people? The entire investment and contribution was done by two people. I believe the fight should also remain between those two people. It is not the right way when you go and start discussing your fights or things about your partner in front of everyone. I think that should not happen. I just want to ask you one thing, that does this happen to you that whenever you have a fight with your mother, you go and ask your friends that how should I tackle with her? No. I think the same should be with your partner. So whenever you have a fight with your partner, be it a boy or a girl, you need to make sure that just like your happy moments, those things should also be between you guys, not in front of everyone. The last ingredient I want to tell you is respect. I will always prefer that Kirat can love me less but respect me more, rather than respect me less and love me more. This is something I honestly believe. I honestly believe that love is like an emotion. It can fade away by time, but when we'll be 60, I think the respect will always be there. So I believe that you should always respect your partner. The last thing I want to add here is all these ingredients, whether it was intentions, investment, meeting illogical demands, or giving space, it is a two-way road. It should not be a one-way road. Once you feel that you are the only one who is doing all those things in the relationship, I think then it is wrong. I believe this recipe is successful just because it has always been a two-way road between me and Kirat. Whatever things that I have done for Kirat, she has reciprocated the same feeling for me, and we have respected each other always. And I believe this talk is going to help you to maintain a healthy relationship with your partner. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.